Dana here. Understood. We'll get you those locations. As soon as we can reach the KPA transceiver, we'll download the data. Okay, Isaac, get up to that intersection. Make sure it's clear.
You got it, Dana. Go, go, go! Shit, Dana. We got a patrol. They must have switched routes overnight. You got any ideas?
Time to go around. Let's hit him.
Okay, new plan. We're ambushing this patrol. Brady, best if you go with G-Man. Just do what he says. Try not to die.
Come on, buddy, this way. And yeah, try not to die.
Alpha, you got anything?
Give me a second. Okay, yeah, Dana. There's barrel traps and Elm Tree Avenue just ahead.
Put your hands above your head.
Brady, through here. Come on, let's hustle, dude.
Hey, through here.
Perfectly still while the peacekeeper approaches you.
You can spring the trap if you want, Brady. You pull that lever, and down they go.
I just hope it works.
Approaching the marker. This is it. Ready on the barrels. Not yet. Wait. Now.
Across the whole zone.
Dana, this is Isaac. Flapping the breeze here. Where are you guys?
Isaac, sit tight. Okay, I'm sending Brady to join you. Me, Lenny, and G-Man will follow up. Just stay out of trouble. Brady, Isaac needs backup fast. There's a bike in that shipping container over there.
So fucked up.
Brady, stay back. Sniper. Luce is dead. I really fucked this up. That sniper is too fucking good. You gotta deal with her. Fuck, man, you did it. Get to the transceiver. Go, go. Leave me. Go get the intel.
Civilians are not permitted. In a red zone.
Brady, we've run into a wall at KPA here. We can't break through. Try and get in behind them and reach the transceiver. This is Philly Alpha. Our strike teams are still waiting for their targets. The longer this goes on, the more chance they'll get spotted. We can have a bloodbath on our hands if we don't get the transceiver data. Philly Alpha, this is Dana. We're stalled.
out to all teams. Intel is coming through. The zone's lighting up. Good work, guys. This is Philly Beta. You guys get that transceiver hacked? We're getting a flood of new intel. Philly Charlie to Alpha. You guys are goddamn legends. We've got KPA patrol data, hub positions, stash locations. This is awesome. What's up? This is Matt with Chicago Alpha. What's up, Philly? This is Atlanta.
Classic Philly down.
Quit whistling like that. Looks don't like it.
Cooperate with this, you fucking bitch! Leave us the fuck alone! Yeah, okay, come on, just...
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, target is the police station. Got 3 prisoners to rescue. I'm marking it now.
I see it.
Got it. I'm heading over. Ooh, looks like there's a stash nearby.
Oh my god! The Norks will kill us!
This police station is a high security target. It's gonna be swarming. Could be worth me running a distraction.
Less bad guys we have to deal with, the better.
Yeah, sounds good. Found me a checkpoint should do it.
Okay, I'm on it.
Put that away, man. We don't need a gunfight.
Cool.
Fucking freak.
They won't see this coming.
Nice one.
What's going on? Are you resistance? Shit, I'm out of here. Ain't sticking around to see you get shot.
Watch the guard.
Yeah, don't get stepped on. Perfect.
Careful. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that woke him up.
Head for the tunnel. I'm calling in for support. Here come my guys. I'll let them take the heat.
Just in time. Looks like we got a big fight breaking out in the red zone.
Let's get involved.
Count me in.
Push up! Push up! Go! Go! Go!
Just up ahead.
Firing! Kill shot! Kill
Yeah,
shot!
those squads have all the fun. Let's get in there.
They're really going at it. Everyone ready? Let's do this.
Across the zone are armed and ready. We just need the targets.
Dana here. We'll get you those locations. As soon as we can reach the KPA transceiver, we'll download the data. Okay, Isaac, get up to that intersection. Make sure it's clear.
Dana, it's Isaac. There's a sniper between us and the transceiver. Can't get close enough to scout the defenses.
Okay, try and find a route past.
I think we can distract the sniper. Ready, Luce? Go! Luce is down! Hold on! I'm coming!
Shit! Brady, can you see if you can help him?
To this game to sort of really encompass this guerrilla warfare, and kind of it made sense for us to go open world, and we have now this kind of open environment, this open sort of guerrilla combat on the streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah, you're talking about guerrilla combat. These guys are using everything available to take down their enemy here. This is the scrappy revolution force, so we see a lot of combination, a lot of you're making your own items here, your own weapons.
Yeah. So, I mean, the KPA have basically us Korean People's Army. They're, like I said earlier, they're sort of in full control. And any kind of, they've taken over with their superior technology and their drone presence, and any kind of attempt to go head-on against the KPA sort of always ends badly for the resistance, for the kind of the American fighters who are still sort of trying to push back. So they improvise, and they use these guerrilla tactics to sort of sabotage, infiltrate, ambush their KPA counterparts. And it's these sort of hit and run tactics that we're going to see in this demo, that sort of getting in, striking at the enemy, and then getting out and sort of melting back into the environment before the KPA have sort of had a chance to respond.
So who is our military genius that is in charge of leading this revolution?
You play as Ethan Brady in the story, and he sort of starts off as a everyday sort of regular guy. He's a shop worker, games journalist.
Excellent. Close to home.
Yeah, and as the story progresses, he sort of joins in with the resistance. I don't want to give too much away on the story, but sort of there's a path that he takes through there to kind of instigate this sort of second war of independence.
Wow. So I was just going to say this game is gorgeous, but it's also quite ridiculous. We see somebody here peeing and I guess getting focused on
what we're showing here is sort of the open environment of the world, and sort of this is kind of this sort of brutality that we see the KPA sort of they don't really pull their punches. Anyone who kind of steps out of line sort of gets dealt a heavy force back at them. So that's kind of what we're showing here now.
So, I mean, this is the future, but we've also been set a while back in technology in the U.S., I guess, for the Revolution fighters. So what kind of weapons are we going to see here that they're going to be using?
Yeah, so they don't. The Resistance fighters don't have the same access to the technology that the KPA have here, so they kind of improvise. They end up kind of building their own weapons and sort of looking out for, exploring the environment to find scavenge that they can build and create their own improvised weaponry.
And we've seen some unique elements here. He had his camera out. He was, I guess, you know, casing the joint, checking out what he was going to, how he was going to approach.
I mean, so what we see here, this kind of this symbol up at the top here, this is kind of what we call this resistance language. They leave these signs around the world for each other, and you kind of look out for this and sort of, you know, that's where you can kind of give each other scavenger balls and weaponry. And we saw a brief glimpse there of kind of this uprising going on, so as you kind of chip away at the KPA's sort of stranglehold on the environment, you gain uprising, and as you do that, the world will evolve and react to your sort of presence. So here, this uprising mechanic here that we've implemented.
So that's interesting. Is there, aside from completing the game, completing missions, does that automatically sort of rally people to you?
Yeah, so, I mean, so we call it an evolving Philadelphia. It's a dynamic, evolving world that the player plays in. And at the start of the game, the KPA, like I said earlier, are in full control, and you see that through the actions of the civilians and how people interact with you, and certain gameplay areas aren't available to the player, but as the player kind of gains this uprising mechanic, the world naturally evolves around them, and you'll see the sort of behaviors change differently, but then also as kind of you unlock further levels of uprising, new areas become available to the player. So the world that you see at the start of the game isn't the world you'll see at the end of the game.
That is pretty exciting. So what else am I missing here? We have a huge open world gameplay. We have some incredible weapons that we're going to get a chance to use. He's building something right here, I'm guessing, what he's grabbing off.
Yeah, so here we see the player going into a stash. This has sort of been hidden away, and there's kind of a weapon mod there, which I'll touch more on later. And he's kind of picked up an RC car, which he can kind of use to create these improvised explosive devices, pop them on the RC car, and kind of you know, I mean, we'll see it in a bit. I don't want to give too much away before we go into it.
That's wonderful. So tell me a little bit about the team that you have working on this game. Where do they come from? What are their influences? And what are you bringing to the game personality-wise?
So the game is based in the Nottingham studio. So there's a lot of ex-Free Radical guys, you know, working there, Time Splitters guys there. We've also got people in Frankfurt working on it who've sort of come off the Crisis project. So it's a real real mix of sort of talents on that.
Do you have a favorite element of the game?
Yeah, I mean I do, but I don't think we've revealed it yet, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But so I think we just touched on it there, this resistance support mechanic, but I don't want to go too much into it. But
yeah, this feels very natural here. That you know, you've got some technology. You see games incorporating the technology that we have today.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot of games you're running around the woods with guns. Well, it would be solved with a cell phone. It would be solved with a text message.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Are we going to have some non-violent solutions here also?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want to sort of go back to the heritage, back to the roots of the Crytek sort of brand, and what we've done here, and you can kind of see what we're trying to do here is kind of create these 360 setup scenarios where it's not just about you know, one way to attack we're attacking a police station here, not just about one way to solve a problem, but you really allow the player to think about how they're going to tackle each one.
So all we see here, the vehicles coming in.
Yeah, so what we've shown here is so there's an explosion, a distraction's gone off in the distance that the player's been a part of, and that drawing the KPA out of their location. And as obviously you can see, it's still heavily fortified, so the player can't just charge in there guns blazing as you would in you know, a more traditional shooter.
So that's not an option then, the run and gun.
Well, you could, but you know, we're not encouraging it by the way we're balancing the game. So you know, we don't want the player to just be able to charge in guns blazing and sort of do everything, you know, really easily. They've really got to think about how they're going to get to their objective, and that's kind of what we see here with this. We call it the Guerrilla Toolkit. So he's able to build and craft these items from scavenge and then combine them to create kind of interesting and varied scenarios for how they're going to tackle a situation.
All right, this looks like an interesting element here. He's constructed a rolling C4.
Yeah, and basically this sort of the objective is to get a bomb on the door, and yeah, you could go in, you know, shoot everyone up, but chances of success on that are very kind of you know, slight. So it's this hit and run tactics where you've kind of got to use your noggin a little bit about how you're going to get into the scenario. So here we see him using the cover of a vehicle, going in and getting that bomb sort of past the KPA and onto his objective.
I'm sorry, I'm focused on this little guy here. He's gonna make it all the way to the door. There we go. Okay.
Here we go.
So do you have anybody helping you out in this game? Do you have like a buddy, you know, somebody you want to protect? out with?
So I mean that sort of touches on the feature that I sort of hinted at earlier. We have this concept of resistance support, so it's not a specific kind of co-op buddy, I think, in the sense, in the traditional sense of the word. But you can call in kind of resistance that you recruit to help you in certain situations. So here we've kind of shown that he's kind of called in resistance support in his location, but you can kind of call them in to create distractions, to get to come and help you shoot, or to kind of help you blend back into the environment.
So you are their leader. They will follow you to their death if you command. Not quite.
Not quite, yeah.
Not quite,
Like I say, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but yeah, you kind of, it's not so much that you're the leader of the resistance and by pushing them forward. You're sort of just an everyday guy who's kind of part of this resistance. And we're really keen not to make it that you're this sort of super soldier that's taking on the world, and more you're sort of this, just involved in resistance.
Almost there.
Without giving too much away.
Without giving too much away. That is the toughest part
Yeah.
of talking about games that are about to come out. Don't give too much away. But without giving too much away, what are you guys planning, once you get everybody in this game, what are they really going to be able to do maybe with each other? Am I going to be able to play with friends at all?
Yeah, so I don't want to go too much into the sort of the multiplayer side of things. We'll talk more about that later, but we are going to support 4-player co-op in this. But that's just a little teaser and no more on that. But here what we can say is the kind of the advanced weapon customization that we've got, so it's kind of creating and crafting these your own weapons on this. So an M4 to start isn't necessarily an M4 at the end of the game.
Start times here.
So I'd touch a little bit on kind of what we're seeing here. So at the start of the game, the player was inside what we call a yellow zone, which is these sort of police districts, and as he's kind of where the KPA have a strong presence, but as you go out and you transition into the environment, he's gone into a red zone there, and that's more